Hello, welcome back to Halftime TV viewers and subscribers. If you haven't done so as yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn the notifications on. As usual, we have wonderful content for you day in, day out, primarily about the Reggae Boys, but we also speak on the Euros, club competitions, as well as everything that's happening in the world of football. Now, today, in particular, I am here to dissect an article that was published in the Jamaica Observer yesterday based on the press conference that Theodore Whitmore gave when he returned from Japan. Now, it's a very interesting article, and a lot of fans are on both sides because they're split in opinion. They don't know what side they are on. They don't know what decision to take. They don't know where they stand amidst this drama about documentation with the Gold Cup only 3 weeks away. Now, in the article, Theodore Whitmore spoke about the games that they had in Japan. He spoke about his absence from the team. That game against Japan under 24, he was absent due to a stomach bug, based on the article. He spoke about a number of things, but overall, we got the impression that Theodore Whitmore was not at all impressed with the Jamaica Football Federation. And again, I know we bash the federation a whole lot because oftentimes they tend to be lackadaisical and a bit too laid back for our liking with a World Cup on the line, qualification just around the corner. We want to see them doing a lot more and being on their toes a whole lot more as well. Now, if you haven't done so, please check out my video on passport issues, as well as the recent one that I did with the takeaways from lessons learned from Asia. Very interesting. What I did was I summarized everything from all the videos and everything that happened during that Japan tour, and I placed them in one video for you, the viewers, to see. Again, quite an interesting article from the Jamaica Observer. It shows somewhat of a tug of war with Theodore Whitmore coming to the press and saying this. I'll draw some comparison between the Kylian Mbappe and the Olivier Giroud situation, where in the practice game, Mbappe didn't play the ball to Giroud, and Giroud came out in the press and he spoke out. He spoke about his frustration about not getting the ball, and Mbappe came out afterwards and said it's not an issue of him saying what he said. It's a matter of him saying it to the press, and they share the dressing room. So it's the same vibe I'm getting from this article that was published from the Jamaica Observer, because you would have thought Theodore Whitmore should have maybe had a discussion with the federation, but who knows? Maybe it's a discussion that has been recurring. Maybe it's a discussion that he's had with the federation on a number of occasions, and yet it is still heading in the same direction. No, I'll read the article, and I quote: "Firstly, we have to set out to play 3 games, and we were looking at the trip to Japan as a pre-Gold Cup camp. As you know, the original squad we selected to come to Japan was 30-man strong, 30-man strong one, and this would have been the group that we wanted to play in the Gold Cup. When we take into consideration the time spent together going into the Gold Cup, we are going to miss a lot in terms of the chemistry, the physical conditioning of the team, and the team bonding." Okay, we have had this discussion before about Theodore Whitmore chopping and changing the team, and he spoke about this in this particular paragraph. He's basically saying with the issues we experienced going into the Japan trip, I was disappointed essentially because some of those players who we were expecting to get in to build a closer bond with the team, they didn't get to make the trip, and as such, them coming in will be a little bit short notice. Now, I did an interview with Andre Blake a few weeks ago, maybe a week ago, just before that Japan under 24 game, and he said usually they go into camp maybe a week or so before the tournament, and they train together, and that's how the team bonding is built. No, a lot of the players that were on this trip in Asia, they're not even going to be in the squad for the World Cup. Some of these players, the list was submitted yesterday, June 14, and these players, some of the players actually missed the list. I'll provide the names of the players who missed the list at a later date. Who knows? Probably tomorrow, depending on the information my source is willing to divulge. But some of these players will actually not be in the squad, as I said in my video in passport issues. Now, one of my viewers, he messaged me and he indicated that passports can be expressed once the citizenship is sorted out. Yes, but it takes some time to deal with. And if some players are just now putting in efforts to sort out their passports, I can't see them making the cut in time for yesterday's deadline. Now, getting back to the article, we have lost some time in the story heading into World Cup. And then again, when you look at the World Cup, is a few weeks away. And at this stage, we have a number of players out injured and we don't know what condition we are going to get them in. It goes back to him not being able to assemble the players he was expecting to assemble ahead of the tournament. So he's just going to get some players coming back to international duty, not knowing if they're fully fit, not knowing what their condition is like, and not knowing how best they can contribute to the team because of their injury situation. Whitmore, who was a key member of the Jamaica historical qualification to the FIFA World Cup, said selecting his final squad for the CONCACAF showpiece puts him in an awkward position. Now, we know what he's talking about. It's a risk to select this World Cup squad, not knowing the condition of the players, as I just alluded to. It is quite disheartening because with every national team, we see the coaches or the managers going to the domestic games of the competitions they play in, and they sit there and they watch the players that they're interested in, and then they give them a call up. With the Jamaican situation, it's a bit different because scouts go out and they basically cast a wide net and just send back whoever qualifies to represent the country to play for the coach. Now, if that person isn't to the coach's liking, or that person doesn't suit the coach's model, then you're just getting some players to come in just because they qualify to play for Jamaica. For the longest time, Theodore Whitmore has spoken. He said he needed a defensive midfielder, and I think it was a center half or something like that, a center half or a winger, something of that sort. I'm not sure. I don't have the details, so I don't want to say something that's not accurate. I don't want to misquote him. Right, but essentially he said he needed players for two positions on the pitch, and what we've been getting for the past few months are players all over the pitch just because they qualify for the national team. Now, I think the person who is scouting the players, it's either that person is going to relinquish the position or relinquish the role and give it to Theodore Whitmore. Who knows? Maybe the person is enjoying his or her trips to Europe or wherever that he or she is going to get these players. Who knows? But what I can tell you is Theodore Whitmore, he isn't the one getting these players. He's just being given some players and he's expected to work with them regardless. Now, continuing with the article, right now, all we have to do is hope and keep our fingers crossed and see where we go from there. A few English-born players who figured in the 2 matches in Japan were not holders of Jamaican passport, but their applications were said to be advanced in many of the cases, okay? I don't know. I don't know. And the article goes on to say, I was somewhat pleased with the Serbia game. He spoke about what he took away from the Serbia game. He also said in that article that he doesn't think players without documentation should be representing the team. See, that is a concern. I'm quoting Theodore Whitmore in the article here, Jamaica Observer. That is a concern. He's talking about the deadline, right? That is a concern. Some players without passport, that's what he's referring to. But we have to take some licks for the situation. Personally, I don't believe any player should represent the country and don't have a Jamaican citizenship or don't have a Jamaican passport. And if my memory serves me well, I think it's a long-standing policy of the federation. Now, the federation has been bringing in a number of players without their necessary documentation. Because it's a friendly, they're allowed to play, and because friendlies, it is not a competitive match, and as such, the necessary organizations that it be allows them to play. No, I think that is what Theodore Whitmore is alluding to, because having had a group of players that he's been working with for the past 4 or 5 days over in Japan, come 3 weeks time, these players, he probably won't see them again until World Cup qualifiers. And also the likes of Mikel Antonio, who is away in Greece, as I alluded to in my passport video. He essentially won't be playing for the Reggae Boyz until the World Cup qualifiers start. And who knows, as soon as the World Cup qualifiers are over, if we don't qualify, God forbids, he might not play for the Reggae Boyz ever again. So it's situations like these that Theodore Whitmore is alluding to, and it cuts quite a disappointing figure. He's not happy with the situation over at the federation. And again, I'm trying my best to bail the federation out, because overall, I think it's a collective effort. The players need to shoulder some of the blame as well. The passports, the necessary documentation, whereas it's the Reggae Boyz Federation, the Jamaica Football Federation, whereas it's their responsibility to identify these players. The responsibility is on the players to track down the necessary personnel within their family who allows them to qualify to play for the Reggae Boyz, acquire the necessary documentation, and then submit those to the federation so they can expedite the process. Theodore Whitmore, he's disgruntled. He seems frustrated, but I hope everything changes, because going into a competition, a major tournament in a few weeks, I don't think it spells well for the team, because as they often say, football is played both on the pitch and off the pitch. And currently we're neither seeing it on the pitch nor off the pitch. The federation is lapsing. They're so incompetent in so many ways. And then it is trickling down to the field of play, because the teams that we're seeing going on to the field whenever they play, it's all over the place, and chemistry is lacking, cohesion is lacking, and all of this is because we're just assembling some players because they qualify to play for the Reggae Boyz. All right, I'll wrap it up there. Just an overview of what happened. Coach, I asked you this question. The coach Theodore Whitmore, have a plan. Well, before I go, I'll assume he has a plan. He requested the players that he wanted, but again, as I said, he's getting some players that, who knows, probably he didn't want these players, because as I said a few months ago, the article I read, it said Theodore Whitmore requested players in 2 positions on the pitch, and the players that I saw being scouted and being added to the setup, they're all over the pitch. Our weakest position on the pitch currently is the defensive midfield position, and it continues to be our weakest position on the field, because the players that are scouted or have been scouted in, they don't fit that mold. They aren't of that ilk to play in the defensive midfield position. And I think, who knows, maybe that's even the primary reason he tried out Damian Lowe there, because he saw that he wasn't getting the players he was requesting, and maybe the players he's requesting aren't out there either. I don't know, but I'll call it quits for now. I'll keep you guys posted as information is made available to me. I'm going to reach out to my sources as well, try and confirm all the names that made that 60-man deadline yesterday. Until then, please remember to like, share, subscribe, spread the love, get us to 1,000 subscriptions, guys. Thanks to my sponsors, Quick Link Shipping, RS Sports Store, and CSA Shop. For all your jerseys and sporting apparel, reach out to RS Sports Store. All right. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks for helping our channel grow. And I am looking forward to moving from step to step with you, our loyal viewers and subscribers. All right. Miranda Brown here saying until next time.